Welcome to Decoding Codex, the podcast that asks the question if we give artificial intelligence the world's most sacred texts, what will it believe?
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into an organizational blueprint, you could say. We're looking at this source, "You shall command," which feels like a direct line into how an ancient relationship with the divine was structured.
That's a great way to put it. It's not just suggestions, is it? These texts are incredibly prescriptive. They lay out in detail how to build a holy order, the rules needed for this very specific kind of covenant.
Right. And our mission today is sort of extracting the essence of that. Who is the commander here? What's the nature of this holiness we keep hearing about? And, the actual rules of engagement.
Exactly. The job descriptions, the rule books, basically. How do you manage being so close to something so potent? Because the whole point seems to be proximity.
Okay, let's unpack that then. Because if you boil it all down, the core idea, the stated goal, is God intending to dwell among the children of Israel.
Yes. It's all built for cohabitation, as you said.
But a very regulated cohabitation.
Oh, absolutely. It's all boundary maintenance. Every single detail, thread color, timing, materials, it all serves one purpose. Make God's presence possible without, wiping everyone out.
Okay, let's start at the top then. Who is the commander? What's the identity here? Because these aren't just random rules, they're tied to a history.
Definitely. The authority comes directly from one key event. The commander always identifies himself as the Lord their God that brought them forth out of the land of Egypt.
Okay, so the deliverance is the foundation.
It's the non-negotiable context. That act establishes the relationship, the right to command. Everything follows from that.
And his nature. The dominant theme seems to be holiness. It's everywhere in these commands.
Holiness is absolutely paramount. But it's not just about being good, is it? It's presented almost like a physical property, an active force.
A force, how so?
Well, God requires it, and his presence is what actually makes things holy. His glory sanctifies the tabernacle, the altar, Aaron, his sons. Certain things are even called most holy. That signals like an intense concentration of this property, maybe even dangerous.
And he's very much a commander, a lawgiver. The detail is intense. It says these are perpetual statutes forever into their generations.
Right, not temporary guidelines. This is meant to be an enduring legal system.
Yeah.
And it covers everything. I mean, everything. Oil for the lamp, specific cuts of meat for sacrifice, the exact way things should be done.
Which brings up something interesting. He commands them to bring materials, like the pure olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
But he also seems to provide the skill needed.
Yes, that's a fascinating part. He demands the resources, but the text says he fills the wise-hearted with the spirit of wisdom, specifically so they can do the really intricate work, like making those incredibly complex priestly garments.
So it's a partnership almost.
Yeah.
People bring the stuff, God provides the know-how.
Kind of, yeah. Divine instruction, human execution. That seems crucial for maintaining the whole setup, because the goal, the promise, is always that I will dwell among the children of Israel.
And I will meet with them, right there at the door of the tabernacle.
Exactly. The whole structure exists to keep that meeting point open and safe.
Okay, so if God's the architect, the priests are like the site managers, handling the day-to-day of this proximity.
That's a good analogy. And the selection is immediate and dynastic. Aaron, Moses' brother, and his sons, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, Ithamar, are pulled out from everyone else.
That's what part?
Completely set apart. It's a perpetual statute tied to one family line, an inherited exclusive job.
And getting the job involves this intense 7-day process. Washing, dressing, anointing, sacrifices. I was struck by the detail about applying blood to the right ear, right thumb, right big toe.
It's incredibly symbolic, isn't it? It signifies total dedication, sanctifying their hearing for the commands, their hands for the work, their feet for the path they walk in that holy space. They are marked physically.
Wow. Okay, and then the clothes, the holy wardrobe. This isn't just ceremonial dress, is it?
Not at all. It's described as being made for glory and for beauty, yes, but it's absolutely functional. It's equipment, mediation equipment.
Made with gold, blue, purple, scarlet, fine linen. The ephod and the breastplate of judgment sound central.
They are. The breastplate holds 12 stones, each engraved with the name of one of the tribes. And the priest wears this upon his heart for a memorial before the Lord continually.
A memorial. So he's carrying the whole nation with him, symbolically.
Exactly. He's representing the entire community when he enters that sacred space. He's like a human interface for the people.
And inside that breastplate, the Urim and the Thummim. We hear those terms, but what were they actually?
Well, the text doesn't give a technical manual, unfortunately, but the strong implication is they were tools for seeking divine guidance.
Like for making decisions.
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe yielding yes-no type answers or clarifying God's will on specific matters. It made the priest the key go-between for national choices.
Okay. Then there's the robe, all blue, with golden bells and pomegranates on the hem. The reason given for the bells is pretty chilling.
It really is. It's a survival mechanism. His sound shall be heard when he goeth in, and when he cometh out, that he die not.
So the noise itself is a protection, announcing his movement.
It seems so. The divine presence is conceived as so overwhelmingly powerful, potentially lethal, that you need an audible signal just to move around safely within its immediate vicinity.
Incredible. And the final piece on his head and to the golden plate. Engraved with holiness to the Lord.
This one really highlights the priest's role as a buffer, I think. The text says it so Aaron can bear the iniquity of the holy things the people bring.
Bear the iniquity, even of holy things.
Apparently, yes. It suggests that human attempts at holiness, the gifts people offer, are inherently flawed or imperfect. The priest, wearing this plate, acts like a filter, absorbing that imperfection so the gifts can still be accepted.
Wow, that's a heavy responsibility. But then, amidst all the gold and symbolism, there's this really basic rule about linen breeches.
Right. To cover their nakedness from the loins even unto the thighs. Seems mundane, almost.
But the consequence isn't mundane at all. Fail to wear them.
And they bear iniquity and die when they minister. It just hammers home that holiness requires absolute precision. Every detail matters. Even basic modesty is a life or death requirement in that context.
So the specificity continues into the timing of rituals. The calendar, it's about maintaining continuity, isn't it?
Absolutely. First, there's the perpetual light. The people provide the pure olive oil. Aaron and his sons keep the lamp burning always, from evening to morning before the Lord.
The tabernacle can never be dark.
Never. That light signifies the constant presence, the continuity, and mirroring that is the continual burnt offering.
The daily rhythm.
The pulse of the relationship, you could say. 2 lambs every single day, 1 morning, 1 evening, each with exact amounts of flour, oil, wine, a sweet savor to God. It structures the entire day around this continuous divine acknowledgement.
Then there's the altar of incense, square, covered in pure gold. But it seems like its function is incredibly restricted.
That restriction is key. Aaron burns specific sweet incense morning and evening, but the prohibitions are stark. No strange incense thereon, nor burnt sacrifice, nor meat offering, neither shall ye pour drink offering thereon.
So even inside the holy place, things have their designated spot and function. You can't mix and match rituals.
Exactly. It shows an intense concern about maintaining functional purity. Each element has its role. Innovation or mixing is forbidden. And even this altar, covered in gold, needs an annual cleansing. Atonement made with blood on its horns.
So even perpetual holiness needs upkeep.
It seems so. Nothing is static. Everything requires maintenance according to the rules.
Okay, this idea of holiness, it extends beyond the place and the rituals, right? Into what can be touched, what can be eaten.
Yes, and this brings us back to that idea of holiness being almost contagious. The altar is most holy, and whatsoever toucheth the altar shall be holy.
It transfers on contact.
That's what the text says,
Yeah.
which makes control absolutely essential. And this dictates the rules around food for the priests.
Right. It's not just dinner for them.
No, it's part of the ritual system. Only Aaron and his sons can eat the meat from the consecration ram or the special bread used in atonement. The command is explicit. A stranger shall not eat thereof because they are holy.
So the holiness of the food creates an exclusion zone. If you're not consecrated, you can't partake. But given the cost of these animals and materials, was there a system for the priests to actually, live?
There was. While much of the sacrifice was burned entirely, specific parts were designated for the priests. The breast, called the wave offering, and the shoulder, the heave offering. These were their portion perpetually.
Wave and heave, like they presented them first.
Seems like it, yeah. A ritual presentation to God acknowledging him before the priest could consume them. So the system provided for its own personnel.
Okay, but what about waste? Holy rituals must produce leftovers, or things that aren't consumed.
Holiness dictates disposal too, very strictly. Leftover consecrated meat or bread from the rituals. Burn it completely by morning, shall not be eaten.
Can't risk it becoming unholy or used improperly.
Something like that. And for the sin offering, the bullock used for atonement, its flesh, skin, even its dung, all of it had to be taken outside the camp and burned there.
Outside the camp. Separation again.
Complete separation. Both the intensely holy leftovers and the waste products generated by dealing with sin have to be removed from the community's living space.
So when you pull all these threads together, the focus is incredibly narrow, isn't it?
It really is. This whole body of law, this intricate system, it's all laser focused on structuring that relationship between God and the designated priests within that designated space.
Yeah, that's what's striking. In these specific commands, there's almost nothing about, say, everyday rules for how people should treat each other, or rules about agriculture or land use.
Not in this section, no. It underlines the absolute priority here. This entire legal framework seems dedicated solely to one thing: making it possible for God to dwell among them. Purity, boundaries, ritual precision, that's the whole game plan described here.
It's just the level of detail is staggering. And the stakes. Every little thing, the timing, the ingredients, even needing bells on a robe so you don't die, it suggests the risk was immense.
Maintaining that divine presence required absolute calibration, no room for error.
Which leaves us with a pretty powerful thought, doesn't it?
I think so. For you listening, consider this. That intense emphasis on holiness being transferable, almost like radiation, that touching the altar makes something holy. What does that tell you about how they must have perceived the sheer power, the active nature of God's presence? And how might living under that constant, detailed pressure, where a mistake in ritual could be fatal, have shaped not just their worship, but their daily lives, their fears, their whole society, even beyond the tabernacle walls?
Thanks for watching. Join us next time on Decoding Codex and be sure to subscribe.